Hey guys, it's Kimalyn. Welcome back to my channel. I wanted to incorporate all the books that I read in July and August into one video. Towards the end of the video, I'm going to be picking out some prompts in my TBR prompt jar to pick my next read for September. We're gonna start with all the books that I read in July. Hey guys, pardon the interruption. Before we get started, I want to thank Dossier for sponsoring today's video. I've worked with them before and their perfume, I use it every single day, lasts all day. They're inexpensive perfume that make you smell very expensive. The two scents that I have today, Fruity Brown Sugar, and it smells so good. It has raspberry, pear, jasmine, there's a bunch of scents. And then I also got Floral Marshmallow. This one smells very sweet, very spring if you're looking for something more that side. Very designer quality for very inexpensive. So shop down below on Dossier to get your perfumes today. Now let's get on to my wrap up. So the first book that I read in July was If He Had Been With Me by Lauren Nolan. I rated this a 3-star. This is the known TikTok sad book. Very, very YA. It's very easy to read. I don't even remember what this is about. Autumn and Finn, two inseparable best friends, childhood best friends. Something happened that changed where they stopped talking. And now Autumn is with her new boyfriend, Jamie. Finn is with his new girlfriend. I don't remember her name. And Autumn, she wears tiaras, which really threw me off. Why are you in high school still wearing tiaras? To each their own. She starts to realize that while with Jamie, she still has this like holding on feeling to Finn, wants that connection again. You find out the tragic part of why it's so sad in the first chapter. From there, you kind of just get the whole backstory leading up to that point, and you kind of forget that it happens, and then once it happens, it just hits you. Honestly, I gave it a 3-star because I liked it. The ending happened way too fast. Lauren Nolan is coming out with a second book of Finn's point of view. I said Lauren Nolan earlier. I meant Laura. It was sad, but it wasn't like remarkable where I think about it all the time, you know? So the next book is Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. I rated this a 4.25 star. It was more disturbing than it was mystery thriller scary vibes. Adam and Amelia, who have relationship marriage troubles, and they decide to go on this vacation that Amelia won in this like place in Scotland. Adam suffers from face blindness, so he can't really recognize faces, so they decide to go on this getaway to just try to fix things with their marriage. As time goes on, secrets are unfolding and creepy things start happening, and Alice Feeney hits you with that plot twist. It was a plot twist where I literally stared at the wall for 5 minutes, but it just wasn't a 5-star read feeling for me. I'm very picky when it comes to my 5-star reads, I noticed, and it's really bad when it comes to any of my book ratings. For the longest time, One True Loves was my only 5-star read. I just recently decided to give Beach Read and When in Rome 5 stars because I really enjoy those books. I love them and I always think about them. Why did I not give them 5 stars? Anyways, this is a 4.25. I really recommend it. This is my first Alice Feeney book. So the next book I read, Hooked by Emily McIntyre. This is the first book in the Never After series. This is a Peter Pan reimagining. It is a dark romance, and I mean dark. James Hook, Captain Hook, he has this hatred towards Peter Pan and wants to get revenge on Peter Pan as well. James owns this bar, and in the bar one night, Wendy walks in. Wendy in the story is Peter Pan's daughter. James automatically had his eye on her, finds out that that's Peter Pan's daughter, and kind of uses her in a sense to get revenge, but then their love story kind of unfolds, and I'm really excited to read the rest of the series. They're all different fairy tale reimaginings that we grew up with. I rated this a 3.75. It wasn't remarkable, but it was really good. I'm not used to dark romance, so the next book that I read in July was Beach Read by Emily Henry. At first I rated this a 4.5 star, but I'm now thinking about it, I'm rating this a 5-star. I loved this book. It was so cute. Like, I highlighted and annotated so much stuff, you can't even tell. There's just a lot of quotes in here that I really like and I always look back on because I take pictures of whenever I like a book quote and I like post it on my like burner account. This story follows January, who is a romance novel writer. It also follows Gus, who is a literary fiction author. January goes to this beach house that was her late father's. She's there for the summer to finish writing her book, and she ends up meeting with her neighbor, which is Gus, and they're also college rivals. They strike up a deal to switch book genres because they're both having writer's block. See their love story unfold and how much they really do like each other, and just the love that they have for writing and books. Just, it was so good. And you get a little like family subplot of like her family issues and her daddy issues. It was a lot. It was so good and it was so cute, and I really liked this. Gave very summer vibes. So these were the 4 books that I read in July, and now we're going to get on to the books that I read in August. So the first book that I read in August, and that was Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. I rated this a 4-star. I really loved it. That grumpy sunshine. Just towards the end, I was skimming through it. Random ending of the sister kind of just threw me off and just was not what I needed in this romance book. And it's small town romance. Do not get me started on small town romance. I love me a small town. This follows Naomi and Knox. And Naomi is a runaway bride. She gets a call from her twin sister Tina saying that she needs help with her life in the town that she's living, the town of Knock 'em Out. Naomi gets there. She goes to this cafe where Tina said to meet her. She walks in and there's this do not serve sign. It's for Tina, but a lot of people think that Naomi is Tina. Knox gets this like call saying that Tina is causing disruption at the cafe, but it's really Naomi. Knox gets to the cafe. They're barging heads. They did not get off on the right foot. Come to find out a little bit later, Tina ended up stealing all of Naomi's stuff. Her car, her money. Tina left Naomi with a little gift of Tina's daughter. And Naomi has to take care of her now niece that she didn't know about. Knox kind of helps her take care of her with housing her, helping her around, and just seeing her be like a single mother, just finding her way. And there's the small town. Ugh, small town 8. He doesn't want anything to do with Naomi, but at the same time he can't resist her. So the next book that I read in August was actually a nonfiction like self-help book, The 4 Agreements. I started to incorporate trying to read at least for 10 minutes a nonfiction read every day. Majority of the 4 agreements, it's like I already knew this stuff prior, but it was nice to just know more deeper into it, and I think about it a lot. So the next book is It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. I rated this a 4-star. This book follows Piper and Brendan. Piper is this like super famous, I don't really know what she's famous for, but she's famous. She gets into some trouble back in LA. Her stepfather decided to send her to Westport, Washington, which is where her father, who passed away a while ago, where he is kind of from, I guess, where he did his fisherman job. Piper's sister Hannah goes along with her. As soon as they get there, Brendan notices them and is just like, who the hell is this bitch? He was intrigued by her. Piper decides to rebuild the bar or something, is it, that her father owned. She's just trying to prove to her stepfather that she is capable of doing things and is just not a troubled child. Piper is not looking for anything, done with boys, but is still intrigued by Brendan. It was just a good summer romance, and I can't wait to read Hook, Line, and Sinker. That scene when he downloaded Instagram on the boat. The next book is The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This book I rated a 4.5 stars. This is the first book in the Naturals series. I'm on a book buying ban, so I'm not going to buy the rest of the series until I get a good chunk of my physical TBR done. So easy to read. This book basically follows Casey, I don't know. She has this special skill to be able to read people and profile people. FBI kind of take her in and be in this Naturals program with other very skilled teenagers, and they kind of work together to solve FBI crime. I enjoyed this. The next book that I read in August was None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. I do have a reading vlog on this, which was my last video, so if you haven't watched it, go watch it. I rated this a 3-star. This book follows Alex and Josie, both celebrating their 45th birthday on the same day that they meet at the pub. They're like, oh my god, we're birthday twins. Alex is this very successful podcaster. When Josie goes home, she recognizes Alex and is like, oh my god, I have an idea, girl. Let's make a podcast together. You interview me and I tell you all about my trauma and challenges that I have gone through just to get my story out there. So Alex agrees, and the more that they film episodes, the more that we're finding out things about Josie. It was more disturbing than it was scary. Also, trigger warning of grooming, sexual assault, pedophilia. It did give Verity vibes though. It was okay. Not something I think about. The next book that I read in August was Flawless by Elsie Silver. I read it on my Kindle. This book I actually started at the very beginning of July and I didn't finish it until now. I'm a girl who reads like 5 books at once. I don't know how I do it. I think at the beginning I just didn't enjoy it that much. I do kind of think that they kind of have more of a lustful, just more of a sexual attraction than an actual romantic connection. But there were quotes in there that I ate up. Parts that were just so cute, and then the next chapter is really spicy. This book is spicy to the max. There were like 2-3 chapters where it was just spice straight, and I could read a good spice, I could read a good smut book, but sometimes it did not give. I rated this a 3.5 star. I did like it, and I do want to read the rest of the series because hello, the covers are beautiful, even the new covers. 3.5, it was good. I was waiting for her to be great. Hi, I'm editing. I realized I never said what the book was about, but it's a very popular book, so I'm gonna be very brief. We have Summer and we have Rhett. Rhett is this very famous bull rider. His agent is Summer's dad. Summer works for her dad. Rhett, for some reason, decided to talk shit about one of his sponsorships. Now he just needs some sort of guidance to steer away from trouble. His agent, Summer's father, decides to hire Summer to basically babysit him to keep him out of trouble. Grown man with the babysitter, he obviously doesn't like it, he's not fond of her, but he's attracted to her. Hits off from there. Back to the video. The last book that I read in August was People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. This book follows Poppy and Alex. They were absolute best friends, and they decided that every summer that they're gonna go on a little vacation together. Something happened. They haven't spoken since. Fast forward 2 years, Poppy is just in this rut, wants to go on another vacation. She thinks, when was the last time I was happy? And it was with Alex. She hits up Alex and is like, hey, let's do this vacation. Somehow convinces him. You just go along their story trying to figure out why they stopped talking. Really was very anticlimactic, by the way. I liked it. It was okay. I rated this a 3.25 star. I was skimming through a lot of it. I just wasn't that intrigued into it, but the writing was still really good and the banter. It was okay. It's not my favorite. So this was the last book that I read in August, and these, oh my god, I hate my life sometimes. My battery's flashing too. And these were all the books that I read in August. Now we're gonna pick out of my TBR prompt jar to pick my reads for September. I'm really nervous because I read multiple books at once. I'm such a mood reader. Okay. Highest rating on Goodreads. And I'm not doing any books that are on my Kindle or anything because that's like such a big variety, so I'm doing all my physical TBR. So the highest rating on Goodreads that is on my physical TBR, Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. I've been meaning to read this book. I've had this book since February. This honestly might be good because I don't think I would have picked this up. We're gonna pick 5 books. A book continuing a series that I'm in the middle of. So I have the Dreamland Billionaire series, I have the Knock 'em Out series, Hook, Line, and Sinker. Is that it? All the other series that I'm in the middle of, I don't have the physical copy. I think I'm gonna pick Terms and Condition. I haven't read the Dreamland Billionaire series since May or something, so yeah, I'm trying to give this series a second chance because I didn't like the fine print. A book by an author that I've read before. I can do Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I can do Things We Hide from the Light by Lucy Score. Sometimes I Lie by Alice Feeney. Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell. Hook, Line, and Sinker by Tessa Bailey. I'm deciding. I need a mystery thriller in here. Had this for a while, so I think I'm gonna do this one. We're doing this one. My battery's flashing again. I have 2 more. Let's hurry and pick. Book with a flower, tree, or leaves on the cover. We can do Things We Hide from the Light by Lucy Score. Credence by Penelope Douglas. Magnolia Parks. I don't know if this is cheating or anything, but I'm gonna pick Credence. I just kind of stopped reading it, so I'm literally on chapter 4 actually, so it has a tree on it. Okay, we're gonna do our last prompt. Whatever comes out first, I guess. Okay. Damn, a whole paragraph. A book you bought from a booktuber recommendation. I got 2 that comes to mind right away. Either going to be Magnolia Parks or Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. I've never read a fantasy before. I don't think I'm stable enough to read this book right now. These 2 are both recommended like crazy. First person I think of is Sarah Crowley with Magnolia Parks, and then this one, Haley Pham, also Sarah Crowley, also Destiny. So I think I'm gonna go with this one. I'm gonna try a fantasy this month. I'm just not ready to read this yet. Let's quickly go over the prompts that were picked. We have Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber, book recommended from a booktuber. Highest book on my Goodreads physical TBR rated, Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. A book continuing a series that I'm currently in the middle of, Terms Terms and Conditions, a book by an author that I've read before, Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell, and lastly a book with a flower, tree, or leaves on it. I picked Credence by Penelope Douglas. These are all the books on my September TBR now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed, comment, subscribe, all of that. I'm still in search to find my next 5-star read, so if you have recommendations, let me know down below. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!